My name is Exogrime, and in today's Destiny 2 video, we go over, in my opinion, if this game is good or not. To get things started, I'm not actually a new player by any means to the Destiny universe. I started Destiny 1 during the Taken King expansion, got caught up as much as I could, and then also played into the Siva expansion following Taken King. With Destiny 2, I played it religiously and bought it at launch, and played it every single day for somewhere in the realm of 6 months to a year. I forget exactly how long it was. I do remember that I played when there was almost nothing of an end game all the way through to when they put Leviathan into the game finally, and then I did play, I believe, right away at launch on the first DLC, which would have been Mercury, I believe. Now, not to be negative, but by no means, in my personal opinion, was Destiny 2 a great game when it launched. Like I just kind of said, there was next to nothing of endgame inside of Destiny 2 to begin with. They did eventually put the Leviathan raid out, and they ended up doing some different things with that, and they started tweaking some of the things with Crucible and with Endgame not too long after the launch of the game, because not very many other fans are happy, as I'm sure a number of you are well aware of. When I started playing Destiny 2, I actually started on Xbox. Eventually, I was finally able to get up enough money and everything and get a PC like I've been wanting for too many years, right? So now I'm finally in a position where I can play Destiny and edit content, which is fantastic. I'm finally doing what I've wanted to do for a while, right? However, what this did mean was I had a lot of progress at the time on the Xbox version of Destiny 2. And then right away when I bought it on PC, I don't believe there was an option yet to transfer my content from my save on Xbox over to PC. Thankfully, that's been taken care of in the process and everything, so now I do have some of those old school shaders and stuff from the beginning of Destiny 2 that aren't the easiest to come by, as well as some other things. Now, with that being said, obviously you're going to have to buy the game again a second time on PC, which I had to do. I don't have too much of an issue with that at all to begin with buying the game. However, it would have been cool if there was something I would have been given at all, like even if it was something in-game cosmetic or anything dumb like that. For the fact that I did purchase at launch like the collector's edition, which was like $100 or whatever, right? And then switched over to PC eventually, and those accounts did get linked together. And then eventually they ended up making all of this content that I had paid for anyway free. Now, yet again, in all honesty, I'm not actually that worried about them making that content free. I'm more had an issue with the fact that the people who did pay for that content, besides obviously playing that content when it was the most relevant, didn't get anything out of purchasing that content, because now everybody can play it. Again, it's cool that everybody can play it though, because it is going to bring more people into the Destiny universe, which means bigger player base, and for an MMO FPS like this, that's a good thing. That's actually going to be the end of more of the negative talk for this video. The rest of it's going to be more of a positive side of things. I have been playing Destiny 2 again. I got back into it, and I did buy the newest expansion, Shadowkeep. And I've been playing it for about 3 weeks, close to a month maybe, but I don't believe so. I believe I'm just about to hit my 3rd week of reset. With that being said, I am very happy with the state of the game as of now. A lot of the issues that I had when the game launched, playing it for the first year of its life, has been fixed finally, and that's great to finally actually be able to play the game and feel good about playing the game, feel good about the end game, and of course we're going to get into all that. Now, the first thing that I'd like to talk about actually is the mechanics of the game itself. So running, jumping, sliding, just the actual base mechanics of the game. As far as I'm aware, there was actually an update not that long after I stopped playing Destiny 1 to begin with, where they updated the mechanics, where they made you a little bit faster when you're running, and things like that. I'm not honestly 100% sure what that update all did, but I do know, playing back then versus playing today, It definitely feels way better playing today mechanic-wise. It felt a little clunky at launch, and it definitely feels a lot better today. Now, regarding DLCs in this game, the first DLC that came out for this game I was very underwhelmed with. The Mercury DLC with the Lighthouse and Brother Vance. There wasn't a lot in the DLC. It was cool to see them kind of stepping out of their realm with the Infinite Forest, doing one of those like infinite seed generator kind of situations where it's in theory supposed to be different every single time that you go in. And it was cool, but it really wasn't what the focus of the DLC was on. I mean, honestly, there wasn't that much of a focus at all. It, again, didn't add very much endgame to the game. So in my opinion, and what looks to be the opinion of a bunch of people online as well, they did really start getting their shit together, so to speak, when it came to DLCs. The Forsaken DLC was fantastic. The storyline was great. The exotics that they added in the game was great. Everything was actually really good about that expansion, to be 100% honest. And of course, Shadowkeep so far for me has been fantastic as well. It again reminds me a lot of like the Taken King kind of expansion, just because it's mainly focused on Hive and like Savathûn, but also the darkness is in there, so you know there's the nightmare stuff going on. I don't know. So far, it's been a fantastic experience, and coming back into the game has been really cool with this DLC. Now the next thing on the topic to talk about, just really quick here, is the ease of grind and the easiness of getting exotics and prime engrams and things like that. At the very beginning of this game, it wasn't very good, to be honest. They made the game a little bit too casual for casual players, and they lost a lot of that fan base right at the beginning that were the hardcore players that were really down to grind out as many hours as possible to get the best weapons. But in reality, every weapon was very close to being similar, and of course exotics are going to be the same, but it was too easy to get them. In my opinion, this has definitely been fleshed out and feels a lot better in the game today. The next couple of things that I'd like to go over quickly before this footage ends is lore. Lore's always been good in my opinion, at least, in Destiny. In Destiny 1, it seemed like they didn't have the best way of showing it in game, and Destiny 2 it seems like they've had a little bit of struggle with that as well. However, with all the different lore tabs coming with weapons and different things like that, and the different items that you can scan and find out, you know, lines from Ghost about or different things, you know, it does make for really great lore. And if you want everything pieced together, there are great content creators on YouTube that make some of the best lore videos that I've ever seen come out of any game. My Name is Bife is my personal favorite, but there are many others. The next thing on the list to go over is PvP. At the very beginning of this game, again, like most things in this game, it wasn't very fleshed out well, which was confusing coming from Destiny 1, where it had taken its entire life, but Destiny 1 finally got to a point where it was a really great game for a lot of different reasons. However, with Destiny's 2 PvP, they tweaked a lot of things at the beginning, and my biggest issue with PvP at the beginning of the game was that you had to team shoot. You had to be with your team, or else you're not going to win that game. You're not going to get kills. Everybody else is going to be with at least one other person, and there's no hero moments. There's no moments where you go off on a tangent and you save your entire team. That was my gripe. However, in today's PvP in this game, I've done that multiple times. I've felt so many hero moments playing PvP where I take out 3 or 4 members in the other team at the same time, and I feel great about doing it. So, PvP does feel great now, in my opinion, and with the different options of queuing for different games in PvP now, it feels good. The last thing that I'd like to go over quickly is actually the upcoming content in the game. I am very excited for the content. It seems great, and I'm actually very happy Destiny decided to go more of the MMO route and continue this game for another 3 years, which means it'll probably be a game for about 6 or 7, rather than just end it and go to Destiny 3. If you're still watching, thanks for watching this video. Again, this was just my opinion, so if you disagree with me, I completely understand. Thanks again for watching, everybody. If you could do me a favor and leave a like, leave a comment, possibly even subscribe, it would really help me out in the long run. Have a good day.